Marlins game. The people, even in the fancy schmancy seats behind home plate, there, everybody's on their cell phone and nobody's watching the action. Nobody.
Our friend George was asking if, how much would they pay you? How much would they have to pay to go to the game? And I laughed. I said, Defo used to go regularly. It's
a good ballpark from viewing. Yes. The problem is crossing into Dade County. I mean, as soon as you cross into Dade County, the driving tactics are altered completely. It's like Formula One versus NASCAR from Broward to Dade.
Is it bad that I feel more comfortable there? Like I was there Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm just driving like a loon, and it's accepted.
I spent much time there, trust me.
Like I get into Broward, and I have to like control myself. And it's not like Broward's perfect. It's still South Florida, but it's
no. I mean, the drivers are awful. Probably. I mean, you would hear this in every city. Oh, man, nobody drives.
No. Miami's great. Miami, you can do like the stuff you would get honked.
You don't know
at.
if the guy next to you is passed away and is at the wheel. Like literally Weekend at Bernie's.
Like you pull moves anywhere, even in Broward. Like you cut someone off the middle finger, and I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do anything to you. But if you drive in Miami like a lunatic, no one even notices. They're like, yeah, that's normal.
Very normal, yeah. I mean, the rules are suspended there of any kind of road etiquette. That's for sure.
They don't honk.
Tires are flying out of nowhere, even though they didn't come off any car. People are dropping stones from the bridges. The fuck?
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
All right, late start on the East Coast. Welcome to the show. We got it on the air here as we speak. Lubie, who we love dearly for all of his efforts. I mean, the guy puts in, he may be a little psychotic at times, a little frantic. It took a while for me to get used to it. Maya was not used to it. And that's 3 years worth already. And he still, freaks out as Lubie goes through his various conniptions and psychotic episodes before a show. But you're getting fucked right now by the city of Coral Springs, and that was the cause for the delay here. We will have a trivia challenge. In fact, we have Gurggles already in the bank ready to go with the trivia challenge. We want to get into that. And you can dial us up if you want to play it, 954-417-0070. Happy to be back. I missed out on yesterday's program. I was back in town. Had a wonderful time. People, I would greatly dispute and vigorously dispute the notion that Atlantic City is a dump, Lubie. I love it there. Now, maybe it's the accommodations that were accorded by the fact that Mustang burnt through all of her profits and the money that she bought the last day there after being up substantially for the entire trip. That last day, I mean, can you hold yourself back a little bit? Thank goodness I pilfered a few sticks out of her purse before she went downstairs, which essentially brought us back to the point of possibly being even, which is a huge win anytime you go on a 4 or 5 day gambling junket. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. What was going on there? The Spirit Airlines flights are always an experience, and then I picked up some kind of schmutz.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and it's been a while, I don't know that I've flown while being, under the influence of a head cold for a while, but and it had to be years. And I haven't really felt that cabin pressure on landing. Have you, Lubie? Do you get that? I used to, frequently when I was flying more often, it would be like 50-50 whether I felt the cabin pressure or not.
Yeah, the popping, the air popping. Like I get it, like to a certain extent. By the time I'm off the plane, it's fixed.
Yeah.
I know Neil was talking about some shit yesterday where to this day his ears fucked up from a flight. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Our friend Leslie from No Filter, I was speaking with her yesterday. She asked me how I was doing. I told her my head nearly exploded on this flight. And she had the same thing as Mayo.
Oh, geez.
In her ear popped on a flight like that. So anyway, all right, we're going to get, I got to cough up a little.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm glad you're back. You left fine. And I guess AC brought this.
Some guy sneezed on a machine and I played it. I think that's how I got this. All right, well, we'll bring up Gurggles, go to a break, get into the trivia challenge, and be back with more in a moment. Now that didn't last long. That wasn't the usual brilliant monologue or dialogue that we have. This thing's coming back on me. So 8:28.
Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar, and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante. The Belmont's now a mile and an 8. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici just switched the stick.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on the Defo Show.
Polyman certainly left an indelible impression upon the broadcast industry here in South Florida. That should forever be preserved and pushed well into the future here. Hall of Fame type status. All right, welcome back to the show. I'll try and make it through. Gurggles obviously is going to help out here. He's going to conduct the trivia challenge. You can dial us up if you want to play. 954-417-0070. Lubie's taking the action on this thing. And I would say what? Would you post Lenny the Chronic at like minus 120?
Yeah.
Is that too short? I mean, that's not even a short price on the Chronic, is it? To win this thing, it's possible. But you're welcome to dial us up and contest this at 954-417-0070. So let's get into it with Dave Gurggles Gergely as we begin in the traditional fashion with Dave, and in honor of the Polyman, some
Easy Baseball. This sports writer, on a rather unique perspective of pitching, said, I always believe that a knuckleball is a curveball that doesn't give a damn. What was that? Jimmy Cannon, Larry Cannon, Cannonball Adderley, or Herb Adderley?
All right, Lubie, hit the scrambler. Lo and behold, man, the challenge is on. Lenny the Chronic to start us out. Lenny, how are you?
How you doing, guys?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Well, we're doing well, thank you. We're hanging in there.
Lose again.
I think his phone sucks.
Your phone sucks, Lenny. You're going to have to call us back.
Call him back.
That was bad. Or is that also something that we can blame on the city of Coral Springs?
No, that's Lenny. That's 100% Lenny.
Gergely, have you been viewing the Olympics? I thought of you right away when that Cole Hocker guy mowed down the field from the inside. Calvin Burrell,
Yes,
at Bird.
I loved it. He looked like
Came up the
Rosario
rail.
on the turf for Frankie Dettori. It was terrific. And the young lady that's running away, Lyles, or no, not Lyles. She's beautiful. She's going to be a model, and she's winning all those races.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Gabby
And
Thomas, I believe is her name.
The synchronized swimming is, how does that one on the bottom hold their breath that long? That's what I Wow.
Imagine that a body just comes and starts floating face down at the top of the pool. That'd be crazy. But yeah, now did they change the name of synchronized swimming because it was such an embarrassment to artistic swimming?
Yes, artistic. That's exactly
Is it
right.
autistic swimming or artistic?
No, not autistic. Artistic.
Okay, artistic swimming, yes. Because I thought I saw Prince Harry there, and he does that thing.
Oh, gee. Oh, for autism. Yeah.
All right, it's all in poor taste, but my head is swimming in a sea of bugs. So a guy costs right on a machine, Gurggles. I think this is how I picked this thing up. Right on a betting machine, and it was too late for me to get to another machine in the Borgata. They've kind of squeezed the horse players
Right.
into a room that is. I mean, you can get your bets down. Actually, it's easier to bet at the window than it is on the self-betting machines, because the people on the self-betting machines, your big complaint, they're all betting 10-cent supers
10-cent
on
supers,
freehold. Yeah, up there.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
You ever notice this too? Go ahead.
$3.80 left, and then they hit too much for the balance, and they go back and try. Come on, Jesus.
Yeah, the guy had like $2.40 in a machine, and he leaves with like a string of tickets a mile long.
Yeah.
You were thinking these look like charges against Donald Trump or something. Jack Smith unveiling all of the felony charges they were attempting to convict him of. But it's funny, and this happens a lot in Atlantic City. You see a lot of guys in the degenerate section that look like people in Florida. Have you noticed that in other locations?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you go and wager, and you're saying, okay, look at these guys. They really look like the lowest ebb of the degenerate slime. And then you're thinking, yeah, that looks like my friend Arnie.
And I've been going to Saratoga since the late 80s, and every time I go, there's a 6'3" guy, looks like Lurch in a sport coat, picking up tickets. And that stupor, I see him every year from Gulfstream to Saratoga, and I don't know how he gets up there, but God bless him.
He's probably staying in one of the posh hotels, and first online, he snaps his fingers and he gets a table at what is the famous restaurant there?
Ciro's.
Yeah, Ciro's. All right, let's get back into it. We have the Chronic, and we're going to give him 1 point and go to the true/false question.
All right, true/false, Lenny. On Thursday, on Tuesday, prior to the White Sox at the Oakland A's, believe it or not, the PA announcer for Oakland played the Taylor Swift song 22, taunting the White Sox to lose another game. True or false?
All right, I'll go true.
True,
it is true.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right.
Got one.
Okay, chronic.
Got one. How about that?
All right, 2 for 2, going for 5.
All right, we got preseason football coming up this weekend. Dolphins in action, my Eagles in action as well.
Tonight, yep.
1967 saw the first ever exhibition game between the AFL and the NFL, with the Denver Broncos winning 13-7 over who? Was that Detroit, Minnesota, San Francisco, or Philadelphia?
Go Philadelphia.
That's what I would have said too, but we both were wrong. It was the Detroit Lions.
I was going to take a guess on Detroit. Detroit plays tonight, by the way. The Giants in Detroit. You think Dan Campbell had anything to do with this? They had to suspend their dual practice because they got into a brawl. It's motivational stuff for that first preseason game. I'm going Lions all in tonight. What? They're getting points against the Giants. Holy shit. That should be a beauty. Campbell won't let them lose. All right, going for 7 points here, Lenny.
Yes. All right, let's go to the NBA, Lenny. In 1960, Wilt Chamberlain, then a rookie, averaged 37.6 points per game. What other rookie ranked second in his first year in the league at 31.6 points per game? Was that Oscar Robertson, Walt Bellamy, Jeff Petrie, or Elvin Hayes?
God.
Gotta go with Elvin Hayes, I guess.
The Big E, Elvin Hayes.
Believe it or not, it was my Bellamy, Walt Bellamy.
Big Bells, yeah.
Really?
He's a hell of a player. Yeah.
What do you have?
All right, Lenny with a deuce there, but certainly not eliminated from the competition. Unless, subject obviously to international considerations for drug testing and things of that nature. It could be, wow, look at you, Dave Gurggles.
Making the light go back on.
That was excellent. I mean, you talk about a unique way of being the lighting director here on the show. That was good. He slides a chair back and on come the lights. All right, dial us up if you want to play, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070 to challenge the Chronic here, who is facing elimination. He's kind of like the big surprise there yesterday. I was watching, Jamaican 4x100.
Wow.
A team gets eliminated in one of the early heats. Didn't even make the final. The Jamaican sprint team seemed impossible. All right, we'll get right into it. Our next set of questions here. Dave, Gurggles, Gergely.
All right, let's go to football. This former Eagles coach, on losing favor with one of his running backs, Ernest Jackson, on what should happen next, told the GM, trade him for a six-pack. Matter of fact, doesn't even have to be cold. Who's that? Buddy Ryan, Rex Ryan, Nolan Ryan, or Ryan Seacrest?
We welcome to the show off the Random Phone Scrambler, our next contestant, and it is our beloved Andy man. Andy, you're on the Trivia Challenge. Hello.
Brother, how you feeling?
How are you, my man?
Sounds like you.
I'm good. I'll go with yeah. I hope I didn't catch something
I
from
don't know.
you.
The two of you sound like each other.
Let me go with A.
It could have been a number of sources there. Spirit Airlines, living right up to their high standard, boarded a plane a half hour late leaving Fort Lauderdale, and then sat at the gate for 2 hours with everybody on board. Because they were having some problem that no one would sign off on. Nobody wanted to put their signature on any piece of paper that had anything to do with a safety regulation regarding Spirit Airlines. And they wouldn't let you off the plane, man. Surprisingly, there was no hostility or negative vibe among the many patrons who kept being lied to the effect that, hey, we're leaving in 10 minutes, which never happened. All right, Andy, you're in the game. You have 1 point.
All right, Andy, true or false baseball. On this day in sports in 1976, the Chicago White Sox wore shorts as a part of their uniform. And as of Tuesday this past week, the White Sox were considering doing it again to break the losing streak. True or false?
I'll go with false.
False.
That's right. That's false.
That's false. Okay, very good. Sounded good, Gurggles.
I was going to say true.
You've done a lot of research on this losing streak. I like that. The anatomy of a losing streak with Dave Gurggles Gergely. Sounds like my Saturday at Saratoga. All right. You are 2 for 2, Andy, going for 5.
All right, Andrew, football. In 2021, Coach Jim Harbaugh and the Ravens won their 20th consecutive preseason game, making him the leader in consecutive preseason games, bypassing who won the most before him consecutively? Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi, or Don Shula?
Jeez.
I'll go with Lombardi.
Lombardi.
That's right.
Wow.
Well done.
Winning, isn't
anybody.
Yeah. That was it.
For a sweep.
Winning is everything. What about tonight's games here, real quick, Gurggles? Giants laying 3.5 to the Lions, and they're at home, the Giants.
What's the number? 38?
Over under 35 and a hook.
Ooh.
35 and a hook. I'd go over.
Over. Okay, you're looking for points there. And Patriots laying 6 and a hook to the Lonely Panthers.
I'd take Carolina there. I think everybody's leaning that way. It looks like a sucker bet, unfortunately.
Both teams' new coaches. Carolina, I guess, would be in a better position from a quarterback standpoint, but they don't play anybody. But wouldn't it be great to have somebody on the inside that was feeding you information about what use of starters?
Yeah.
I prefer the halftime show entertainment like you got. I think that's the best one.
Unbelievable, man. All right, here we go with Andy and a
He's looking
possible sweep.
5-point question for the sweep.
All right, Andy. On this day in baseball history, the Detroit Tigers won a 1-0 game, played in the shortest game ever of just 73 minutes.
Wow.
When they defeated
Ooh.
the White Sox. This is 1920, by the way. Boston Braves.
I think I was there, Gurgs. Were you
New
there?
York Yankees or Baltimore Orioles?
1920.
Was it the White Sox, Yankees, Orioles, and who?
And the Brave, the Boston.
It was the White Sox, Boston Braves, New York Yankees, or Orioles.
White Sox always suck. I'll go with the White Sox.
White Sox.
No, it was the
Yankees.
1-0 game versus the Yankees.
All right, well, you're
All right, good job there, Andy.
Around, Andy.
You did well, kid. All right, so Andy has 5, and
Yep.
he is right now atop the leaderboard here. Trivia challenge on a Thursday. Dave Gergely heading for Saratoga next week, which we're always envious of. And you may run into one Jersey Kyle Martinez, who is also headed in
no
that
kidding.
direction with the crew from the Cafe Seville, including the owner there, a great guy, Joey Esposito. So, and he brings a bunch of guys out there, and they send it in, Gurggles. They send it in. Of course, Evan, Jersey's buddy Evan,
Yeah.
be out there. I think he rented a house and is there for the month.
Beautiful.
Doing something like that. Yeah. I mean, this guy's living a dream there, just handicapping and making money. So it's a good spot. In the meantime, tell us about Perdomo Cigars, and then we'll get into our next player.
As a matter of fact, while I'm at Saratoga, I'll be sitting right outside the Jocks room, my favorite spot there, and I'll have a nice Perdomo cigar, staying in Bern, New York, and I'll bring some along for some friends of mine. We'll do some fishing off the boat, and you can't beat it. Well, you don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to the Maldives to get the Perdomo cigars. Easy. 5150 Northwest 167th Street off the Palmetto, a little bit east of the Home Depot on the south side. Or if you're in the Miami Lakes area, stop and see us in the pro shop here. We sell Perdomo cigars right here. But they have a little bit wider selection. We sell the Champagne 10th anniversary right here. But you can get a Robusto, you can get a Churchill, a Maduro wrapper, or a Churchill wrapper, whatever you prefer. They make them perfect one at a time. 305-627-6700, the number to call. 5150 Northwest 167th Street, the place to go. Maybe it's this Saturday or Sunday you want a Perdomo cigar. They're closed, but you can go online. There's the website, perdomocigars.com, to find a retailer near you that sells these fine cigars. So when the Giants and Lions go over 35 tonight, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
Don't forget the hook, Gurggles. 35 and a hook.
Well, if they go over 35, it's going to be over 35 and a hook.
There's no hook way of scoring. So yes, if you go over 35, you'll cover 35 and a
hook. That's what gets you. Right, well, let's continue the game here, and we'll get another player in, and then we'll go to the finals here. And Dave Gergely will be off and around and about. When are you taking off now? Because
I'm flying out next Wednesday. I'll fly to Allentown, PA. They'll pick me up Thursday morning at my hotel, and we'll be on the road actually Thursday from 6 o'clock probably till 10:30 or 11. And then
5 hour
right to the track, and I'll be there till Sunday, and then come back the Monday afterwards. So beautiful 4 days. I took some extra dough along because 4 days, that's a lot of stretching.
They have ATM machines there. I don't know if do you actually have an ATM card, Gurggles? Because you were always
I do. Unfortunately,
anti-modern technology.
Some of the numbers are worn off, but yeah, I have one.
Mine comes up with skull and crossbones. Not even
no money,
insufficient funds anymore. All right. So here we go. Let's get into our last player to contest the game. Andy has 5. He's looks like he's locked himself a spot in the finals. We'll see if this next contestant can get there as well. Here's Dave.
Hockey. This hockey player, after suffering a spiral ankle fracture during a fight, said, I knew I was in trouble when I heard snap, crackle, and pop, and I wasn't having a bowl of cereal. What's that? Nick Kiprios, Nick Perdomo Cigars, or open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Let's go to Ron. You're on the trivia challenge. Good morning, Ron. There's the scrambler. I got the heads up on that. I just knew. It's kind of like the Johnny Carson, Karnak the Magnificent.
Ron.
Yeah. Ron. That would be the answer. Ron, welcome to the show. How are you?
Nice to hear from you.
Good morning.
You're on 1 point.
Hey.
He's always very distinct about that, and it's great.
We appreciate it.
There are no disputes when Ron answers that first question.
By the way, I watched Carson last night. His guests were Angie Dickinson and Tommy Lasorda.
Wow, that's a nice combo, man.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
Angie Dickinson, old school hot babe, and Tommy Lasorda was always fantastic. No doubt. I mean, he was as engaging a guy as you could find. Even when he was pissed off, he was still fun. All right, here we go.
True or false? Believe it or not, baseball, Ron, believe it or not, on this day in history in 1991, the aforementioned and our topic for the day, Chicago White Sox, set an attendance record with 2,150,000 with still almost 2 months remaining in the season.
Wow.
True or false?
I don't know. Let's go true.
True.
It is true. Yeah.
What did you buy? Like a biography of Louis Aparicio or something?
I went to
No,
White
no. I just
Just
ordered
White
a
Sox stuff.
for a big
Very
topic
White
of
Sox.
discussion, but
I
They're
think
so
we've had
bad.
3 White Sox questions in a show in the 25 years we've been doing
They're
this.
just so
All
bad.
right, good,
I just
Gergs.
can't get over it.
All right, 3-pointer run. Here we go. NFL football. Who was the only person to coach his team in the Hall of Fame game and at halftime of the same game be inducted as a player into the
Oh, I
Hall
thought you
of
were going to
Fame?
say he got fired.
Oh,
That would
Who
be
was that? Bud Grant, Bud Wilkinson, Hank Stram, or Tom Fears?
wow.
That's a good one.
That's a great
Oh
one.
boy.
God.
Let's go Hank Stram.
Hank
I
Stram.
don't remember Hank Stram playing in the
Did he
NFL.
play? I don't know.
Actually,
Landry? I would say
was-
Landry.
No, it was Tom Fears who played
Tom
for the
Fears.
70 Saints and later on coached them.
I was going to say Fears. I
Wow.
don't know who the fuck that
Very
was.
nice.
It's
All
got-
right, Ron, here's your shot at the finals automatically. Otherwise, we'll have to go to
cool.
the scrambler.
Yeah, which is annoying.
All right, Ron. Boxing. What fighter did Muhammad Ali defeat in his last fight prior to refusing the draft in 1967?
Good
Mm,
Ernie
question.
Terrell, Jerry Quarry, Cleveland Williams, or Zora Foley?
God.
Huh.
Oh, sorry.
You're wrong already.
I'm not going to presume you're
Give me
wrong.
a chance.
We'll give you a
Yeah,
shot,
yeah.
and then you'll be wrong.
We've already preordained that you're fucking wrong.
Let's go C.
C. Who was
No,
what?
Cleveland Williams, I think it was his first fight back. Jeff knows, right?
Was it
Quarry
D?
was his first fight back, I believe.
Oh, okay. But the
Yeah.
guy he fought last was
Was it D?
What were the choices again? I had
All
it,
right.
but my head's
Ernie
in the fog.
Terrell, Cleveland Williams, or Zora Foley?
I'm going to say Foley.
I was going to say
That's
Foley.
right. And 1 point to Jeff and none to Ron.
No, it's a 5-point question, though.
Well,
How do I only
all
get
right,
1
you're-
point, Gurggles? Yeah.
We got to give you one. then.
You're in
Oh,
the
you're going to give Ron 4? Okay. All right.
Oh, Ron, we're giving Ron nothing. He got it wrong.
Defoe's in the finals.
I'm in the finals.
Hold on, Ron.
Can I participate in this thing? I'd save Lubie a phone call. All right, now you guys hang on. Girls, one more time. Perdomo, I know you'll be
Rumor
taking them
cigars.
up to Toga.
5150 Northwest
Why don't
100.
you bring a box and get some seed money for your gambling by selling them at a huge profit? I
Yeah,
imagine.
well, I have a special deal with Nick, and I don't want to take advantage of that. But
Why not?
if I
You're
get stuck,
you're not getting any younger, Gurggles.
I can do some promissory notes maybe to people. And
Yeah.
say, give me $5 for a cigar today, and I'll gladly send it to you Tuesday. Something like that, maybe. But
Some guy hits a big superfecta with all long shots. He's got
not
stacks
a big
of sticks.
superfecta guy. Although this weekend, unfortunately, the weather doesn't look great. But the rained out steaks from Saratoga are supposed to go this Saturday, and then Saturday at Colonial Downs in New Kent, Virginia, is the Arlington Million. of
Oh
all
yeah,
things.
wow, always a
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Man.
And the weather just doesn't look like it's going to cooperate, unfortunately.
Yeah. Who was the horse that was going against the Bart in that classic call?
Yeah, they call it so-and-so and the Bart, so-and-so and the Bart.
That was Harry
They used
Henson,
to
I think,
call
on
it
the
all
call.
the time.
Yeah. That was a great race, Arlington Million. All right, we're ready. Andy gets in there, slips in.
Well, Andy was
All
already
right.
in. Ron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Andy was in there.
Ron
Ron
was
slips in.
first.
Ron slips in.
Lenny. So
Andy
what-
earned it.
Andy is a worthy
Ron
contender.
got in on the chronic not eligible rule.
yeah,
Yes.
the Scrambler is against the Chronics, but I guess Ron is more of a new member of the Chronics, so the Scrambler leaned his way for some reason.
Okay, all right. I mean,
You ready?
no one said the Scrambler was on the level. I mean, when nothing else is. Here we go. You guys know the
And
rules.
this is one of my favorites of all time. On the 1960 TV show Home Run Derby, it featured 9 future Hall of Famers during the run that year, but only one catcher ever appeared on that show.
Okay.
Who was that?
Oh, jeez.
All right. Here's the choice. The choices are.
Was it Clay Dalrymple, Del Crandall, Choo Choo Coleman, or Gus Triandos?
Well, we know one that it automatically wasn't. Anybody?
Andy, I'll go with Gus Triandos.
Gus
That's
Triandos.
it.
Oh,
Wow.
Gus Triandos.
you're right.
Baltimore Orioles, right?
Yeah,
One
man.
home run and I
You guys
think
tonight, thanks.
Orioles, Phillies. He caught like 3 no-hitters. Obviously, we threw Choo Choo Coleman in for you.
Yeah, that was for defense.
Yeah, Choo Choo, I don't think had more than 2 career homers, did he? Did he ever hit one out of the park, Choo Choo Coleman?
He might have. I'm sure, but I don't know. I know he
Unbelievable,
had
yeah.
trouble catching them. That's it.
All right, excellent job. Andy's our champion. And Ron, thanks for playing. Lenny, thanks for playing. Appreciate it.
We'll see you in
Gurggles,
2 weeks. and
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
send you a little photo with me and Miramani for you.
That was a classic Gurggles photo, you and Miramani. Very candid photo
And
that you took last year.
As soon as I told him that about our show, his face lit up, and he asked about you and said, "I think I owe him $50 yet, but he didn't pay me."
Miramani still with the all-time classic, which he whipped out one day when we were stoned in the backyard. Although Miramani was not a drug guy at all, so he was not partaking. But yeah, he was doing his Polyman impression, and then he whipped into Polyman's French accented ex-wife, Sylvie.
Sophie,
And
no.
I swear to God, I almost fell into the canal behind the house, dying of laughter.
Sylvie.
He had Polyman and Sylvie's arguments down to every distinct detail. It was fantastic. I mean, I thought I was listening to the two of them in the car when we were going to dinner. All right, Gurggles, you have a great one, man.
Guys.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Dave Gurggles, Gergely, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that was good, Lubie, and congratulations to. I'm glad Andy won, man.
I like that Andy won. Usually people back ass their way into it, so it was nice to see Andy actually going on.
Very affirmative, assertive effort there in the finals with Gus Triandos.
Yeah,
you knew it wasn't Choo Choo Coleman. I mean, that was a joke. Who was the guy that was the leadoff hitter for? And he was a popular player, Juan Pierre.
Oh,
I was at the stadium that day when I threw out the first pitch at that Pittsburgh game in 2003. Yeah, and Juan Pierre had, I think, his lone home run of the season to decide the ball game. They gave me an autographed Dontrell Willis ball. Which
there you go.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. And it was a big surprise because I remember like at the last second they pushed Pudge Rodriguez out of the way and they had Billy the Marlin catching the pitch.
That's annoying.
just to enhance the clown aspect of some media guy coming out there and throwing a fucking ball over the backstop. Ridiculous. What are you, Jim Bouton? Exactly. All right, Lubie, what are you thinking, man? Tonight, NFL action. Are you excited at all? I mean, we've always talked about the fact that to bet these games, you have to be criminally insane. But I would imagine, I mean, if you could get some kind of inside information, would it be helpful or not in betting preseason football? It would be nice to know who prioritizes this. We know John Harbaugh has an amazing record in preseason football with the Baltimore Ravens. You would think, why are they wasting their time trying to win these games?
I feel like Campbell would be another dude that weirdly takes it seriously. They already fight. Like the scrimmages like all week long are the thing that supposedly get them ready now, the preseason visits. And you never hear them fighting. Usually they take that really seriously. So the fighting's not really a big thing. The fact that they fought so much that they had to cancel some of the practices, I feel like that's a Lions Campbell thing.
Sounds like a Lions thing, right? Like they're doing the intimidation at the press conference there. They do the obligatory shove of the guy, and then they get right in his face as Dana White tries to separate them, supposedly feigns like he's involved in, and shocked that this would take place.
Exactly.
Patriots, 6 and a hook over the Panthers. How can you trust the Patriots? The Panthers we know suck, but they have a new coach. And a very impressive guy. His name escapes me, but I was very impressed with the interview I saw with him. Now, all of these guys sound good, but this guy was particularly articulate and seemed to be articulating things that maybe the big hang-up there is there's a stench at the top, right? Their owner is a nutbag, Carolina Panthers. And they may have blown it.
Bucks offensive coordinator. Okay. Interesting. Maybe.
This guy was good, man. He was very impressive.
He's a young
guy.
He had
all the answers.
Well, if you saw the Bucks, like the Bucks last year were supposed to be like a 5-6 win team. Mayfield's career's done. He was just a throw-in.
Yeah.
And they ended up playing really good football down the stretch, made it to the playoffs, and Mayfield revitalized his career. So you would think this Canale, and he looks young. So with a Bryce Young, you sort of want a young dude that sort of gets it and may have some patience. Maybe, yeah. He looks interesting.
Yeah, he had some good answers, with the Bryce Young thing. Bryce Young just doesn't look instinctively quick to react to stuff, does he? I mean, he looks like he's standing there like a statue.
He's just little,
and just waiting to get plastered.
As little as Tua looked at times and still does at times, he always had a decent base and he had a little size to him. Like Bryce Young looks like a little kid. Like, and then you put him in the NFL and
Johnny Manziel looked more imposing, didn't he?
It just doesn't look right. And then when you saw him actually play, it's like, yeah, that fits.
It's crazy, man. All right, and more Olympic action. The track and field is great stuff, man. I used to love track and field.
I love that the Jamaicans have just fallen off. It's like you used to always talk
what
about
happened to them after both
Ethiopians or whatever. Like the Jamaicans are the ones that have been since Usain Bolt have really just owned track and field, at least the running stuff. The fact that they're and that's a big one. The
4x100 relay, yeah, you would
it's
think
like
they
a
would excel at that.
big deal. They don't
Yeah.
even get to the finals. Like that's weird. Like they
Oh,
usually
that
win
was
that.
strange.
That's weird. Like that was a big fucking deal.
I saw some Chinese kid winning one of the sprint races. I was amazed that they're not usually that strong in those kind of events. Got women in the pentathlon, which is kind of a crazy collection of 5 of the decathlon events. How did they pick? I mean, an oddball pick. They got like the high jump, the javelin.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think the shot put 800 meters, and the other thing is like a swim in the Seine River.
Ken had it as one of his questions last week at trivia, and it's like a bunch of really weird events put together. They don't work.
Yeah, some equestrian thing.
Just random swimming, then they're
totally fucked up. Yeah.
Then they're running, then they're taking out the trash, and then they're cooking you breakfast. It's like,
my brother, who we communicate infrequently, not that we have any hostilities or anything like that. There's nothing. Just he lives in Jacksonville, and we don't have a ton in common except that we're brothers.
Yeah.
Asked me my opinion about the women's boxing controversy.
Oh Jesus! Well.
Which is a totally weird one because the woman is a woman, but the dude looks like a lady. I mean, it's Stevie Tyler time. It really is. So what do you do? I said I was never a fan of women's boxing, even being a big boxing guy. And I understand the premise. Hey, this should be open to women who want to do it. I never liked it. I've called many women's boxing matches on TV where there was a period of time there. It was an obligation. Where when Christy Martin was fighting Don King, he had Tyson in prison. He needed Julio Cesar Chavez to win a lot of bad decisions, and then he was banking on Christy Martin, a coal miner's daughter. I don't know if you remember her, but
Christy Martin I remember very well. Yes, she was supposed to like her, and then
she could box a little bit. I mean, she had some style. The problem with it was that there was zero depth in women's boxing. Now, maybe that's been amended to the point where there are more people involved now, so you don't get the blatant mismatches. But that was a problem I had with it. If you're going to watch women duke it out like that, which I'm not a big fan of, and yet women's MMA is kind of exciting. It's sometimes more so than even the men.
Yes.
So what is that? Is that a sickness on our part, Lubie, making these observations?
I don't mind.
But I could live without women's boxing. I really could. If it was not a sport that anybody sanctioned, I'd be okay with that. And yet that gets into the whole question about are you denying women a chance to do things that they want to do?
I agree. I've never really watched it, but I also am not one to say it shouldn't exist. If people want to watch it, good for them. Same thing with the MMA stuff. I've watched a little bit of it.
When you see women, I mean, and I was ringside, you see like just blood coming out of the nose with snot, and you could tell that the woman had her nose busted, and it's only round 1, and you're thinking, are they really going to throw her out from the corner for round 2? Do we need to see more of this?
Oh God!
I mean, what is the point? And now you could say the same thing about men's boxing, but I don't know why it just seems a little bit more, defendable to me, even though obviously issues with that as well. All right, and what else will be the men's basketball team? Looks like it's got itself on track, so they're not going to get embarrassed and lose the goal. They play Australia, I think. Tomorrow? Is that the deal?
Oh, supposedly Saturday. Segredo was talking, but I don't know.
Oh no, Segredo. Well, you always have to check the calendar with Tony a little bit, but the game's tomorrow.
Okay, so Friday. All
right. 18 and a hook over Australia. France is a 4.5-point favorite over Belgium. Is France any kind of a threat to the U.S.?
France has an interesting team.
Do they meet? Would they meet in the final? Where would they meet? This is already like the semifinals, isn't it?
The semis, so they would meet in the finals. Yeah, France has the.
That's women's basketball. Tony might be right. I'm sorry.
We play Brazil, is what I thought, and I don't think we played.
Here it is. Sorry about that.
Brazil in the quarters, I think, and then I don't know who they would play in the final.
The men's play Serbia today. That's what this says. Here, Serbia.
In the semis? So they.
Am I looking at yesterday's paper?
Didn't they play Brazil? Aren't they supposed to play Brazil?
I'm looking at yesterday's paper. Yeah, they played Serbia already. Yeah. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. All right, Lubie.
I think they played.
Today's Thursday, Lubie. What are you talking about? This is a good show for information. We don't even know what fucking day it is. Thursday. It says right here, United States, 16.5 over Serbia.
Okay. So they must
How
be.
fucked up are we, Lubie? I mean, you're gone too? Did I give this to you yesterday at Even Keel? I think so. All right, today we will be with the Mike Mayo Lunchbox show, and that is going to be at Gilbert's.
Yeah, Gilbert.
Which, that place is great, by the way. I would recommend it 1,000%. Right down there on the 17th Street Causeway, just off of it, right? One of those big shopping areas, and a standout. I've been there for a long time. It's a real benchmark place here in South Florida. Gilbert's. They make great burgers, but all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, they great.
Pretty much anything. I mean, it really is an amazing joint in terms of you're thinking burgers, but you can get anything from like a salad, seafood, all kinds of crazy stuff there, and it's always good. Plus, Lenore is a real character. I like that woman a lot. It's fantastic. So we'll be there later on, and then we'll be with you tomorrow, a Degenerate Friday edition. The professor, I would imagine, will be in.
Yes.
He was hysterical last week with his Olympic sports rankings in honor of Jim Sarney, who we saw yesterday. Came out to eat.
It was a Sarney sighting. He's texted me 3 times today already about Olympic things. And that was like before 8 o'clock.
I mean, he has to be loving this because I think today's feature on USA Network is women's midget mud wrestling.
Jesus.
And he will be all over that. No doubt about it. Kazakhstan is one of the favorites, surprisingly. They have a lot of diminutive people. All right. We will see you guys later on today. And then, of course, tomorrow, Degenerate Friday. For Mike Lubie Lubitz, apologize for the late start here today. A lot of people got shut out, I guess, on the show, thinking it wasn't happening.
We're here.
And I nearly threw in a towel. I thought some issue came up. I was worried about you, Lubie.
I'm alive. It's fucking
yeah. I thought it was a dog, Shirley.
No, I'm fine. Just
like this poor kid, man. Everything goes wrong at the wrong time. Okay, see you later on today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to Dave Gurggles Gergely. From Mike Lubie Lubitz, I'm Jeff DeForest. We'll see you next time as we leave you know that.
The time.
It's 9:05.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done.